Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's development update and community Q&A session. I'm Adam Bradford with Demiplane. Thanks so much for joining me. We have got a big day, and I want to get right to it. So first of all, we're going to talk about today's lineup. As always, we are going to cover our latest updates. We've got a big one today. If you've been, messing around with the site in the last, 20 minutes or so, you might have already seen it. But we've got some, in case you missed it, what we're working on, what's on deck next. We have a giveaway today. We are giving away 4 of the Marvel Multiverse RPG core rule books today. So pay attention to chat for the prompts there to see how you can maybe snag one of those today. And good luck to everyone. And we also have a release announcement and a special guest. And you can ask me anything as always. I love the questions. All you got to do is go into Twitch chat, type the word question, preceded. No, wait, preceded? No, preceded is before. So succeeded by the question itself. So type word question, then the question, and our magical demibot will capture those all for me at the end of the stream. All right, let's get right to it. Marvel character tools are now live. So you can go check them out right now, in addition to the character tools being live, and they are really, really something. We have been playing with them for the last few weeks, creating characters. I can't tell you how many characters I've created, and it is so epic to have these characters and characters that you can create yourself in digital tools like this. So go check them out. We're helping everyone check them out for this week. So basically, until I think it's the 13th of November, we have something that we're calling Hero Week going on. And so all of the characters and character options in Marvel RPG Nexus for the character tools are unlocked for everyone. So if you're wanting to try that out, you can go try out anything to your heart's content here during Hero Week. So if you've been on the fence, if you're thinking, hey, I already own 5 games, the full library for 5 games on Demiplane. I don't want to pick up another one. This is something that you can go try out and see how great these tools really are for Marvel. So you can do that during Hero Week. And also, I am joined today by a special guest, and I'm hoping that we're going to get him on the screen now. We are live. Excellent. So we are joined by CJ Cervantes. Thank you so much for joining me today, CJ.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me, sir.
Can you tell everyone a little bit about, introduce yourself first of all, and talk about what it is you do at Marvel?
Absolutely. So, my name is CJ Cervantes. I'm the producer and project lead for the Marvel Multiverse RPG. So, I've been involved with the game from the very beginning. Now it blows me away. I honestly have to pinch myself every day to know that there's a game out there for the largest entertainment company in the world that anyone can pick up and play, whether they find it online or they go into their local hobby shop to come play that. I've been with Marvel for close to 7 years now, which has been incredible. I've got to work on a lot of great projects. None of them as great as this one or as special, I'd say. But it's just been incredible to be able to work with the IP, all the heroes, and just put, all of that together in a way for people to really interact in such a special way with the RPG.
Awesome. And yeah, CJ, I remember that, one of the first times I spoke to you, it was, very meaningful to me because I found out pretty quick that you are an NBA fan like I am. And so even though you like the Knicks, I can overlook that. And it's been good to talk, basketball and Marvel, 2 of my big loves with you over the last year or two here. So I want to ask you a few questions, and this game is something that has been around in a playtest form, and so one of the first things that I wanted to ask is what role has player feedback played in shaping the Marvel Multiverse RPG into what it is today?
Yeah, that's an incredible question. So we always had a general idea of where we wanted to take the RPG and what we wanted to do with the RPG. But what we wanted to do was put something out there for folks and see how they reacted, right? We took some pretty big swings with the playtest, obviously, with the archetypes, those tables, the amount of ranks that were in the game. And we said, look, it's a playtest. If we take these swings and people like them, then great. If they don't like them, which it turned out a lot of people didn't, we can always use that information and build a game using what the community wants for the community. So that's something that's really, really important to me as the project lead for this, is that we want to make sure that we're a community first game, right? We're always designing, right? Every single errata, every single update, every piece of information that goes out publicly, whether it's a social asset, right? These are all things that I have eyes on, that me and the team, Amir Osman obviously worked very hard on this, Brian Overton, obviously Matt Forbeck, our lead designer, uh, every single piece, right? I always say, but is it fun? Right? That's been the number one question I've asked throughout the entire process. So having player feedback where folks can say, look, this didn't work for me, right? Or maybe some folks liked a little piece of it, but they didn't love a lot of it. We can say, okay, this didn't work. What can we do? And we saw with the developer update number 2, where we pretty much gutted a lot of the core rules, a lot of the core playtest, if you will, pieces like that I had already mentioned, and just said, look, let's reinvent this a bit. Let's make something new that we think will really be fun and that people will really enjoy. And let's continue to get that feedback so we can say, okay, we went here with this. Did that work? Great. Okay, now let's go a little further. We see how that does. Okay, maybe that was too far. Let's bring this back a little bit. So throughout the iterative process with all the updates that we did for the game, I truly feel that we landed on an incredible spot. And I truly feel that people can have fun, whether this is their first RPG or this is their 10th RPG. I truly feel that the Marvel Multiverse RPG fits this special spot in the industry and for folks. And a lot of that is based on player feedback.
Absolutely. And, we can definitely relate on our end that we talk about all the time with any kind of software development, the community that you're making that for. That feedback really is the lifeblood of making sure that you're hitting the mark and all of those things. And I remember as the initial stages of the playtest came out, I remember working through some of that. And then I remember when I saw as the core rules were coming together, I was like, oh, like, hey, this is really, really solid. And I encourage anyone out there that might have checked it out, early in that process. Definitely check out what is there now, because if you are like me and you literally dream of Marvel related characters like while you're sleeping, then this is the game for you. You're really going to have an incredible time with this game. So definitely encourage that. CJ, how do you see? Because we've got this big release today with these character tools.
Oh,
How
we
do you
do?
see? Yeah. That's happening right
That
now.
little thing?
Yeah, that little thing. So how do you see digital tools helping facilitate play?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as someone who really, really started to dive into RPGs in the pandemic, using digital tools was something that just really brought the game to the modern zeitgeist, if you will, right? Anyone, anywhere can log onto their computer, open up a browser, go to a website, and now instantly they have access to all the rules. But not only all the rules you need to play, explainers that pop up. Oh, I don't have dice with me. That's okay. We can do that for you here. How do I build a character, right? I think my first session playing D&D, it took 4 hours for our crew to build characters. Meanwhile, I hop into a Nexus and I can make a Marvel hero in 15 minutes. It's the fact that digital tools make the game extremely accessible. It adds just an ease of element where it takes the anxiety and a lot of the I don't know what I'm doing out of it, right? And can just put something in front of you and says, look, we're here to play a game. This is meant to be fun. Do you want to play as a Marvel hero or do you want to make your own hero? Then we just jump into an adventure. the fact that digital tools, and especially the Nexus, the Marvel Multiverse RPG Nexus, can give that to folks and just make it extremely accessible, which has been honestly the number one design aspiration for our game. How can we make this as accessible for as many people as possible? It just feels it's like peanut butter and jelly. They go hand in hand in that sense. So I think the tools are beautiful, and I'm really excited for people's opinion on that. And the fact that we can deliver that to people now today is just, I mean, I've been giddy all last night, all today. And it's not just because I get to see Victor Wembanyama play at the Garden tomorrow. It is because we have these digital tools here releasing for folks, and they're going to get they're really going to see why I'm so excited once they dive in.
I told you he was an NBA fan. And yeah, something, CJ, there that really resonates with me, something that we talk about all the time internally, and something that I talked about in my past life with, that DDB thing, was that it's like, hey, we want to make sure that, the rules of a game, the rules of a tabletop role playing game are, obviously, you wouldn't have a game without those rules. but
Correct.
but what digital really can help with is it can mitigate some of the, potentially negative aspects of managing the rules, where then the really great aspects of the rules that empower and enable these, collaborative stories to be told, it lets that shine through a little bit, clearer, when you don't have to worry about looking this thing up, or again, that 4 hour, curve that you're talking about, for because, many of us remember that very, very well, the first time that we made, characters for these games. And so yeah, I think that, the digital part of this is something, the thing that we seek out to do is to make sure that, the parts of this hobby that we love, telling stories with our friends, that is the thing that is at the forefront. So, CJ, I've got, one more here that I don't know what you can share, or anything else, but I'm going to, try to see what, kind of info, we might can share here. But what does the rest of this year, um, look like for the Marvel Multiverse RPG? And then, is there anything that you can tell us about 2024 that we can look for in the Marvel Multiverse RPG?
These are great questions. Great questions. So, obviously, today we have the release of our digital tool set here with the Marvel Multiverse RPG Nexus. Amazing. Very excited. Next week, huge, massive. We have the release of The Cataclysm of Kang, our first adventure book for the Marvel Multiverse RPG. What makes this book really exciting for me is just how we've developed the adventure book. So there are 6 interwoven adventures within that book. You can either just roll to a chapter and decide to play that one, and each chapter corresponds with a rank, right? So you can go rank 1, boom, let's jump in. You can take people from street level heroes at rank 1, go through the whole thing as a campaign. All of a sudden, you're in galactic space, the multiverse, right? And you're fighting against all sorts of villains. No spoilers. That will be for you all to decide what happens there. Or you can fight in New York City as a rank 3 hero. So the fact that it is very flexible, and again, that accessibility piece. How can we make something for everyone? I'm really, really excited about that. And we have some incredible contributions from amazing, amazing creators there. Obviously, we have Matt Forbeck on there, Elisa Teague, B. Dave Walter, uh, Jesse Scoble, and Dev Fiara. The team did a tremendous job putting just a lot of work into that book and bringing that Marvel multiverse to life. So beyond excited for people to get their hands on that. Next year, folks can look forward to our first expansion. So that'll be the X-Men expansion book. So that'll be anything X-Men. So we have a bunch of new characters. We have some new powers in there. We're going to have some adventure hooks. I don't want to spoil too much here, but there are some maybe potentially new mechanical things in there. We've been having a lot of really cool conversations about Cerebro and how does that work. The X-Men book, I'm just super pumped about. We know that the X-Men are super, super close to so many folks' heart. And so we're putting a lot of TLC into making sure that for the first expansion, that it is a book that really hits. A book that's super near and dear to me Also, that should be coming out next year is our Spider-Verse expansion. Similar to the X-Men book, right? We're going to have a lot of spider folk in there. Similar, right? You're going to get powers, etc. But what we really want to make sure we're diving into, since Spider-Man is such a, I mean, broad, iconic character, there's so many pieces, right? How does Aunt May fit in here? How does the Sinister Six fit in here? How do all the symbiotes and clones, right? How do you fit that into a 256 page book? Because that could be a 10,000 page book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but those are the three releases that we have coming out through the end of this year and into next year that I'm really, really excited for. And there are some other things that are cooking behind the scenes. I wish I could say more,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
we're
I know
always
that life. I know that life. There's always something that you wish you could shout from the rooftops that you can't even talk about. So yes, yes, I definitely relate, CJ.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm
Uh,
certainly shouting from the rooftop. So if anyone in the chat is in New York and they hear someone screaming about the Marvel Multiverse RPG, it's probably me, and then that's where you can get all the little tidbits in there.
and then CJ is going to jump off the building and swing to the next one. Oh no,
Exactly correct.
sorry,
And then I'm
wrong,
just
wrong
gonna
game, wrong game.
exactly.
Yeah. All right.
That's our community management tool, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's it. It's like, oh, you've got an issue. I'm gonna come personally take care of that. Like Miles fixing the or the museum security.
Exactly
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
Except I
All
don't have
right.
a saxophone, so
All right. CJ, thanks so much. We've got one other fun thing before I can let you go this morning.
oh,
There is an adventure that, we're working on here for the Marvel Multiverse RPG that is called The
ah,
Murder Worlds That Time Forgot. And we have shared just basic summary level details about this in the past, but we actually have a cover that has been finalized now. So we're going to share that cover here now. Josh, are we up? The cover is up. So as you can see, I don't know, I know everyone that watches this dev update regularly understands my affinity for dinosaurs. And so I had to make sure that we were doing something dinosaur related. This adventure is going to be, really, really something. Looking forward to this coming out. We'll have more news about that, before the end of the year. A little bit more specifics about it. But we wanted to share this cover. CJ, since this is something that I ask most guests that come on here, and I'm sorry this wasn't on the list, but hopefully it isn't putting you on the spot too much. What is your favorite dinosaur?
this is such a great question.
Mhm.
See, I'm a huge Red Ranger fan, so I feel like you got to go T Rex, but I feel like everyone is T Rex, right? So I don't want to say that. Obviously, is Godzilla a T Rex? I mean, he kind of isn't, right? He kind of is, but kind of isn't. So like, there's so many
I don't
great
count
iconic
Godzilla now.
Rexes out there. But you know
Yes.
what? Honestly, as a sleeper dinosaur, maybe you would know the name of this. The kind of little guys, you know what I mean? They're like running in a little pack, you know?
The preconsignathus or
Is that what
whatever.
they're called? I
Yeah,
think they're
like
just like
the
I want one as a
compies.
pet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That would be nice. That would be nice. But yes, here before too much longer, you'll be able to check out some dinosaur-related activities in the Marvel Multiverse RPG, and absolutely loving how this cover has come together, and really looking forward to that and some more fun stuff as we head into next year. CJ, thank you so much for
Thanks for
joining
having me,
me here
folks.
today. Really appreciate it. Appreciate all the time and energy that you've put into this game, you and the team. I think the results have been just really, really great. I encourage everyone out there to check out the Marvel Multiverse RPG and use the Nexus to be able to create those characters, very quickly and easily. Thanks again, CJ. Have a good day.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, see ya. All right, let's jump into what else is on here. So, before I go too much farther here, I do want to talk about a big platform update. And it might not seem that big of a deal, but it really really is, especially when you start using it. But we have a top nav menu overhaul that is now live across Demiplane, so you can check this out if you go to any of our Nexuses. Go to demiplane.com. But what used to be two bars, we had one bar that was kind of Demiplane related at the platform level, and then we had another bar that was specific to each Nexus. Now we have one bar to rule them all, but I guess actually that one bar doesn't rule them all because it's now just one bar. So it's maybe kind of lonely, but it's okay to be lonely if you're as awesome as the new bar is. They don't need any other bars because this bar is going to do it all. And so check that out. It's got some quality of life improvements where, if you are on Pathfinder Nexus and you click the characters menu item there, it is going to take you to the My Characters page, but it's going to be filtered down to what you would need to see for just Pathfinder characters there. So all of that in place. Really really excited about that update. Check that out. All right, let's keep going here. Actually, you know what, Josh, if we can do this, I'm gonna stop to talk and walk through some of the Marvel stuff here now. Are we good to go there? Excellent, excellent. All right, so this top nav bar, as I was talking about, we have our games here. So I'm gonna check out Marvel. With Marvel, we've got some free characters that you can check out. Again, Hero Week is going on, so all of them are free right now. But this is also where I can create characters, and you see, if I'm going to view all of my characters from the Demiplane site. This is where I can see everything, all at once. But if I'm wanting to create for Marvel, we're going to create a character. And when we come in here to create a character for Marvel, one of the first things that you're going to be presented with for a choice is going to be, do you want to play an existing Marvel character? Because there are so many of these characters. Like, I'm pretty sure that right now we have over 130 that are available in the core rulebook. And there are, I won't share too much, I don't guess, but there are more that are absolutely going to show up in Cataclysm of Kang next week. So many characters that you can do. But we're going to take, one of my favorite activities here. I'm going to select Daredevil because he's Daredevil. And once we have Daredevil in place, this is actually where you can take one of these existing characters and modify them from here. So, for instance, if you were playing one of the spider folk in one of the Earths of the multiverse, you could take Miles or Peter or Gwen, and you could use them as a starting point, and then make edits and modifications from here. One of my favorite things to do, because I know that there is a lot of controversy out there. Fans, we love to talk about this stuff, right? But if I've got Daredevil here, I can potentially rank him up to 3 if I wanted to. I can make changes here to any of the information that I would want to with Daredevil. I get an additional trait here. So I did not pre-plan this, so I would have to really look at this here with Daredevil. But for now, he's got Legal Eagle, of course he does. And so I'm just going to say quick learner for now to keep moving. If I was really doing this, I would put a lot more thought, a whole lot more thought and energy into that. But with powers, you can come in and do all of the things that you would want to in modifying all of that for, in this case, Daredevil. I can go check out my character sheet. If you don't want to make any modifications to those existing characters, you can just jump immediately right over to the character sheet. And once you get to the character sheet, you're ready to go with Daredevil. You've got all the information ready to go right at hand. With the Man Without Fear here. And I love, Daredevil's Billy Club. Definitely got that iconic weapon. We can make our rolls here. So if I am going to make a melee attack here, I can do that. I'm going to get my results. I wonder, how many times is it going to take me to get a fantastic result? I'm just going to keep rolling with this version of Daredevil. Wow, I am not. Oh, we finally got a fantastic here. Fantastic result for Daredevil. We also have this thing, playing with damage reduction in the game. This is something that the team added, that you can enter, damage reduction before you roll, if that's what you would, like to do in this case. So I'm going to enter damage reduction of 2 here, and then I'm going to roll and see what happens. Oh, I got another fantastic result. We can do our edge and trouble re-rolls here if we want to do that. And so all of that can happen here as well. As with any of our sheets or builders, we can check out all of the details that we want to see. Jump into this stuff, with far more depth if we want to do that. And so we can reduce our health and focus. We can update our karma here, if we're wanting to do that. One of the things, of course, that definitely happens during play is, what does that power do again? So all of that is going to be here as well. We can manage our conditions. So any of these things that happen during play, we can keep track of that here. Team maneuvers. Team maneuvers is something that, as I've played the Marvel Multiverse RPG, this is something that when I'm running the game, I remind players about a good bit of the time. And so, this is a place where you can set this and give yourself, kind of a quick at a glance reminder of what the possibilities are there. So again, lots to dig into with the Marvel Multiverse RPG Nexus character tools. So check them out right now during Hero Week. All of those characters and character options are unlocked for free. You can try everything out and see what you like. All right, let's keep going. All right, so Vampire Nexus. We are putting the finishing touches on the Chicago folios. The team has gotten a little bit sidetracked by some of the other priorities, but we are very close on that one. I imagine it's going to come out. It will definitely come out before the end of the year, but probably a good bit sooner than that. We're also focused on some feedback-based updates, so you'll see a few of those smaller things rolling in the coming weeks, as we are continuing to fine tune things there based on feedback. Thanks so much for sharing that. As always, Pathfinder Nexus, we are diligently working. The team is working massive amount of information, as you can imagine, coming in with this remaster. But for the digital reader and compendium, we're going to be good to go next week with that. As I explained last week, and then we are deep into this character tools performance refactor. So this is one of the most valuable things, really, I would say the most valuable thing that has come out of the beta, is giving us massive amount of data that is telling us what we can do to make this performance be at the level that we want it to be. We knew that when we put this out initially, oftentimes in software development, you are looking to try to get something to work, and then you go back and make sure that it is working well or working right. And that is the case with our Pathfinder Nexus character tools. We've been able to find out so much that is going to make that performance be in such a good place when we get done with this refactor. And the remaster content is going to, we fell into a scenario here where it just really was going to be a lot of wasted effort for us to squeeze remaster updates into kind of that V0, that beta version of the character tools for Pathfinder, and so we're getting to the full release with that. But as I've shared, can't give a specific date on that yet. But we are diligently working on it, and we are certainly not going to leave this year without that being out into the wild. So we'll provide more updates as we have them. On the Erte episode tonight. So tonight's guest is Deborah Ann Wool. I am sure you have heard of her. Speaking of my buddy Daredevil, but she's going to be on the show tonight. So check that out. She is always a treat. Character Tools Roadmap. As you can see here, we are live with Avatar, Vampire, and now Marvel. And of course, we are working on Pathfinder, getting it to the full release status. That redacted is not going to be redacted very much longer. So you're going to get some information this week about redacted. Otherwise, everything is, nothing has really changed with the order that we're working on those character tools for next. But if you have been keeping score, I can say that at the very end of May, as we entered the beta with Pathfinder, as we got into the beta, we have released Avatar, we have released Vampire, we have released Marvel, and then we are soon to release another thing before the end of this year. We have really done this at a very rapid pace, and as I shared for several months, that was very much the plan for us. So this is one of those situations where sometimes the plan really does pay off. And as we focused on building a solid, and really powerful and flexible platform, we are able to now accelerate in providing these character tools for other games. And so we're going to keep that momentum going as we head into 2024. And I can't wait to see all of these games that are going to have these high quality tools available for them as we get into next year. All right, I think it is time for a giveaway. So I don't know if this has already happened or not because I can't see chat right now, but you pay attention to the prompts in chat because we are giving away 4 Marvel Multiverse RPG core rule books. Good luck to everyone out there. And we are now up to questions. So I'm already out of time, but that's okay. I see there are several questions, and I am going to jump into those now. So I'm going to try to be pretty quick with these. Link Cable, what is a good age to start introducing D&D Pathfinder TTRPGs to your younglings? That is a superb question. It's a question that I would say that I have a great deal of experience with this. So what I'm saying is that this is I feel like this is a very qualified answer that I'm about to give to you because I played. I have 2 sons, and I started playing with them at different ages, and I saw some pros and cons for both of the approaches. And so I would ultimately say that with my oldest son, I started playing a little bit older, so he was probably closer to 6 or 7 before we started playing. As often is the case with second or later siblings as they come into the world, they often get to do things earlier than maybe the firstborn did. And so my second son, he actually came in and started playing closer to 3 or 4. And what I can tell you about both approaches is obviously your expectations about things like length of sessions, understanding and grasp of rules, all of those kind of things. Those are going to vary depending on the ages that you do. But after living through, both of my sons and also working with, kids in a variety of, capacities outside of my job, I would say that, the younger, the better, honestly. And one of the things that I would say is that I am blown away by the creativity and imagination that happens even at that 3 or 4-year-old level. And again, you're not going to play long if you start very early. A session might be 30 minutes, but but I think that it makes such a huge difference to encourage and foster that imagination and creativity at as young of an age as possible. One other thing that I will say is that if you are a parent or if you are close to nieces or nephews or any other relationship that you have like that, I would say that the younger that a child is, where they see adults caring about art and caring about story and caring about imagination, it really has a profound psychological impact for them. We talk all the time about preparing kids for the future. And if we really want to prepare them for the future, playing tabletop role playing games is one of the best activities that you can do. And so, again, as long as you are malleable with your expectations, I what I would say here is the younger the better. The moment that you feel like they have a grasp of being able to have an attention, spanning 30 minutes or more. Start playing with them, especially if it's something that you enjoy doing, to see if maybe some of that fire can catch inside of them. All right, let's see. The blue wolf, I think, is what we're going for there. So yeah, oh, that's a good one. What sort of powers do you enjoy having in your Marvel character? Telekinesis, hands down. It's not even a hard question for me. Telekinesis is the greatest superpower that has ever existed. It's one of the reasons that we are just so enamored. All these polls out there that are like, what superpower would you rather have? And for some reason, flight is always at the top of that list. And it's just a wrong answer, because if you say telekinesis and if you're powerful enough with your telekinesis, then you can fly too. So telekinesis is the answer here. And I absolutely enjoy having telekinesis in any character. As I'm playing Marvel, I love it. I also telepathy very closely associated with that, of course. I love that. I'm a big Cable fan. So I grew up in the 90s. I had, I was right there in the Iron Age of comics, all of that going on, lots and lots of pockets. And so I love Cable. I really love, the kind of cloned, other Earth version, X-Man, Nate Gray, all of those kind of things. Love telekinesis, definitely what I would like doing there. But I also do just love clobbering time sometimes. So characters like Thing, obviously Hulk. So super strength is another one of those that I do like to unleash like that sometimes. Milestone 20, are there any pre-order benefits for the Cataclysm of Kang? That's a great question, and there are no pre-ordered benefits that are coming with that book, but I would certainly keep an eye out for pre-order benefits for future Marvel books that come out. Jacob Rogers RPG, how awesome is the cover for the Murder World that Tom forgot? I am very, very partial to that cover. Paco Medina did the pencils there, just did an absolute incredible job, and really, really love what I'm seeing there. I think that you're going to love the adventure too. Cassius 335, Murder World at Time Forgot equals yes, please. Let me pay you already. Before too much longer, you will get that chance. UK Haiku, which was your favorite Spider Being in the latest movie? Following question, how excited about the next one? I'll take the second one first. So I am a major cinephile. Okay. I watch, in fact, I'm like at a point right now where horror is something that is just literally horrible to me, that like I have an overactive imagination. And when I watch that kind of stuff, I have nightmares for weeks sometimes. I am getting to a point where, since horror is becoming a test bed of experimental, cinema, and people are doing interesting things in the genre, I'm getting to the point where I love cinema so much that I am like edging into some of that stuff, because it's like I just love film, love movies, love television. And so I'm just so into it. So I said all of that to get back to the Spider Verse question here. That over the years I keep running tallies of what is the greatest trilogy of all time. Like that's something that comes up in conversation for me all the time, and I can honestly say that at this point in my life, with all of the different trilogies, some things sequel out of trilogies because there are no longer three of them, for instance. But it's like I would still say that the classic Star Wars trilogy, Star Wars: A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, is probably still the greatest trilogy that has ever been made. If Spider Verse sticks the landing, and by the way, I'm not qualifying this with animated or any of those kind of things. I'm saying if Spider Verse sticks the landing, it's going to be the greatest trilogy that's ever been made. And so, yes, I am terribly excited about what's going on there. And what is even more shocking to me about that is I remember very clearly seeing the first teaser for the Spider Verse movie. And I remember thinking to myself, because this is right as the MCU starting up, and of course, majorly into everything that happened with the Infinity Saga. I remember thinking to myself, like, what are we doing here? Like, this looks like a complete waste of time. What a silly concept. Like, these are all things that I said to people before that movie came out, that first movie. And I saw the movie and I was like, I have never been more wrong about like a sense of how good something was going to be from trailers and everything else. It was incredible. The second one, absolutely incredible. So, yes, very excited about this third movie. And as far as my favorite, Spider Punk is going to have to be my favorite. Outside of Miles, I love Miles, but Spider Punk, without any doubt, definitely my favorite that was introduced here in this new movie. Cassie's 335 redacted next week since various things seem to be out on the 14th. Various things, like, it feels like you're trying to get me to like reveal something that I'm just not going to reveal here. But I will say that you will know more about redacted at some point this week. The Molly J, is there any chance we'll see account syncing with companies other than Paizo, Renegade for the World of Darkness games as an example? Definitely something that we are very, very open to. This is going to depend on the infrastructure of the publisher. And to this date in this industry, it is not something that is widely, embraced. There are a variety of reasons that has not been widely embraced. One of them being that there haven't been meaningful and high quality digital tools to take advantage of it until relatively recently in the industry. And so I think that a lot of people are playing catch up with those kinds of things right now. But I can tell you that we are very very open to all of those kinds of integrations and possibilities. And we are trying to work with publishers to see if they can get to that point. As publishers, I do believe it is going to happen. And so as publishers do it, we will certainly be embracing it on our side. And it's something that we advocate for. Milestone 20, will there be a dark mode for the compendium reader view? There will be at some point. It's not a priority for us right now, but it is something that we will provide at some point. It is on the roadmap. Butter Droid, is there any plans for making multiple versions of the same character in one place? Sounds like it might be useful for a supers game. I don't know if I'm 100% following the question, but you absolutely can have multiple Daredevils or multiple Spider-Men or women or any kind of variations that you want to have. You can have multiple copies of that same starting character because you're making that character your own when you're making that selection. Hopefully that answered the question. Milestone 20, there's a new Diablo TTRPG game announced. Would this be a possibility for a future Nexus? I think anything is a possibility. And I can tell you that on our team, we have a great deal of Diablo fans. So, absolutely no news to share on that front. It certainly is a possibility. Neurolancer, is the Traveler RPG on your future to-do list? Again, nothing I can confirm there, but it is something. I know there are a lot of Traveler fans out there. I count myself among them, so we'll see where that goes in the future. All right, I think I got through all of the questions. went a little bit over today, but that's okay. It's a big day. We have the Marvel Multiverse RPG Nexus character tools out there live. So check those out here during Hero Week. All of the character options are unlocked, and you can just start making your entire Spider Verse yourself, like your own personal Spider Verse. I want to see those screenshots of people's character screens with, just stacked with spider folk, all on your screens. Please share those. But you can do that starting today. We have stream tonight on the Erte. Deborah Ann Wool is going to be the guest with Sam DeLev as the host. So be sure to join us at 6 p.m. Pacific for that. Otherwise, I will be back here with you next week. Really looking forward to it. Thanks. Later, Gators.